Indian markets opened just shy of its lifetime high this morning and managed to record new highs in early deals. The surge is a testament to tenacity with which the market has weathered storms, and it is the country's retail investors who have held up the markets during recent turmoils. But now global investors are endorsing Indian markets as Nifty inches upward. The surge in Indian markets is reflecting the underlying strength of Indian economy, marked by robust corporate performances amid a dull global economic landscape. The journey to this threshold mirrors the nation's ability to adapt and overcome challenges like the war in Europe and West Asia. However, as the market revels in its triumph, caution whispers on the horizon. Analysts point to potential headwinds, including global economic uncertainties and a general election in 2024. While the Nifty's ascent paints a picture of prosperity, market watchers advise vigilance, emphasizing the need for a balanced approach in the face of evolving risks. And for more on this, we are now being joined by Andrew Holland, the CEO of Avendus Capital Public Markets Alternative Strategies LLP, and he's live joining us from Mumbai. Welcome to the broadcast, Andrew. My first question is to you. Do tell us, what's your outlook for Indian markets in the year 2024?
I will remain very constructive on the Indian markets. I think we're going to see a lot more follow through in terms of earnings growth as the multiplier effect of the kind of government capex, private capex starts to play through to earnings. So we see those figures from GDP that will start getting reflected in earnings going into 2024. And of course, our view has been, as you know, for some time that we expect interest rates to fall in the US as it heads towards recession, and that's going to be another kind of tailwind for earnings going forward.
Like we just told you, that the Indian markets opened just shy of its lifetime high this morning and managed to record new highs in early deals. Now, this surge is testament to the tenacity with which we've seen various difficulties that the Indian markets have faced, but the Indian markets have weathered that storm, and it is the country's retail investors who have held up the markets during recent turmoils. We will be getting you more details on that. In fact, to get us a better perspective on this entire story, we were earlier being joined by Andrew Hovland. As soon as we managed to fix that bit of a technical glitch there, we will have him online again. But in the meantime, let me tell you how global investors are endorsing Indian markets as the Nifty inches upwards. And on that note, in fact, we do have Andrew joining us again, and we will get more details from him. Andrew, as I asked you earlier, and if you can hear me clearly, do tell us what's your outlook for Indian markets in the year 2024. Give us a sense of what your perspective of the markets there is.
So we remain very constructive towards India in 2024. We've been saying a number of factors behind that. One is that the government spending, the private capex spending, will lead to a multiplier effect in terms of growth, and it'll be across many different industries. So that will propel earnings growth into 2024. I think an extra tailwind will come from lower interest rates. We've been of the view that the developed world would head towards recession, and therefore interest rates will come down. And that would, again, we'll see, Asia, including India, having the capacity to kind of reduce rates very quickly as well, as we were ahead of the curve going into this interest rate cycle. So, those two factors are going to help earnings. I mean, obviously, the kind of combination of those plus. I think you're going to see, India kind of, GDP growth start to accelerate towards the back end of 2024, and again, that's good for earnings. So, I think India is going to do well from an earnings perspective. I think from an emerging markets perspective, we'll start to see more flows coming towards emerging markets because of lower interest rates and a weaker dollar going in 2024.
When we do speak of emerging markets, Andrew, there are, of course, risks along with opportunities. So what do you say are the risks and opportunities in Indian markets for 2024?
No, it's a good question. I think, one of the, it's easy to get, too overzealous on flows to India from foreign investors, in terms of our own growth story. If China was to do a big stimulus, then obviously it's a cheap market, and you could well see flows, being directed towards China. I'm not saying that we won't receive some flows, but it might not be as big as the market would be expecting. So that's a risk to the optimistic part of the story. I think obviously is, we've seen it before. Markets get a little bit overbought. The kind of valuations become too high, and the story becomes too rosy. And I think those are the kind of risks which I think could be there. I mean, we do have the elections next year, and obviously that's obviously we'll see at the time if there's any risk to that. But if it's a stable government, I think everyone will be very happy.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much for your perspective on this and giving us a detailed analysis on the topic. Thanks a lot for joining us this morning.
Thank you.